Welcome to the course module. In this module, we are going to focus on learning about what do we mean by HFSS foods, some common examples of HFSS foods, nutrition transition. We will also understand the impact these foods can have on health and their relation to the occurrence of certain diseases. This video will also focus on simple dietary changes that can help in limiting over consumption of HFSS foods. We are aware that there is a growing demand for processed food across the globe, including India. Homemade meals are getting replaced by convenience or processed foods. This replacement can be attributed to changing lifestyle, which is not only limited to the urban areas, but also spreading in rural areas. These lifestyle changes include urbanization, changing family composition, that is moving from joint to nuclear families, working couples, affordability, hectic lifestyles, and less time for cooking. These processed foods are durable, easily accessible, attractive, ready to eat or ready to heat, making them quick favorites. They also have a longer shelf life due to reduced microbial deterioration, thus can be easily transported to long distances. They are convenient to carry and easy to prepare. With these as advantages, processed foods have some major disadvantages too. They are high in energy, specifically in fat, sugar and salt. That is why we call them HFSS foods. Technically, high fat, sugar and salt or HFSS foods refer to any food or drink, packaged or non-packaged, that are high in fats, including saturated and or trans fats, salt and sugar, and high in energy, that is calories, that are known to have a negative impact on health if consumed regularly. They are usually low in proteins, vitamins, minerals, and dietary fiber. These HFSS processed foods are also highly palatable, leading to habitual and compulsive consumption. They are usually marketed in large portion sizes and are extensively and sophisticatedly advertised. All these factors challenge the normal processes of appetite control, causing their overconsumption. Some common examples of HFSS foods involve fried foods like chips, French fries, samosa, bhatura, baked food like biscuits, cakes, fan, pastry, patty, etc. Sweets like laddu, jalebi, balushahi, peda, etc. And other miscellaneous foods like instant noodles, soups, etc. to name a few. Now that we have learnt about HFSS foods, we need to understand why is their consumption a concern. It is important to understand that overconsumption of processed foods high in fat, sugar and salt has caused a major nutrition transition in Indian population. To comprehend it better, let us quickly understand this concept of nutrition transition. Broadly speaking, changes in traditional dietary and activity pattern of a population are referred to as the nutrition transition. The dietary changes that characterize the nutrition transition include both quantitative and qualitative changes in the diet. The adverse dietary changes include shifts in the structure of the diet towards a higher energy density diet with high fat, added sugars and salt in foods. Along with greater saturated and or trans fat intake, reduced intakes of complex carbohydrates and dietary fiber, and lower intake of fruits and vegetables. Unlike populations affected by hunger, the populations affected by nutrition transition have adequate diets, but the quality of the diet remains poor and often involves the intake of more energy than needed. Such poor quality diets are one of the leading risk factors for overweight, obesity, and underlying diet-related non-communicable diseases like heart disease, diabetes, hypertension, and certain types of cancers. As a result, diet-related chronic diseases are rising in developing countries, including India. We have understood the overall risk that regular consumption of HFSS foods can cause. Let us go a step further and look into the specific concerns involved with HFSS foods. HFSS foods often contain high levels of fat, specifically saturated or trans fats. Overall high fat consumption is associated with obesity and other associated NCDs discussed previously. Further, trans fats, the worst of all fats, are present in baked and processed foods and is seen as a significant contributor to heart disease along with other health problems like insulin resistance, cognitive decline, to name a few. HFSS foods also contain added sugar in higher amounts. A typical example of foods with added sugar is sugar-sweetened beverage. Research studies have shown a strong correlation between consumption of sugar-sweetened beverage and weight gain or obesity in children and adults. They have high content of rapidly absorbable carbohydrates, namely sucrose and high fructose corn syrup, which also leads to increased dietary glycemic load, thereby increasing insulin resistance, cell dysfunction and inflammation. Talking about salt, let us not forget the mouth-watering savories, including fried and baked foods, often contain high salt content and contribute to high sodium consumption. Discretionary use of sodium and salt in cooking makes a modest contribution to the overall sodium intake, leading to hypertension and resultant cardiovascular diseases. HFSS foods could be rich in one component, that is, may be high in only salt or sugar or fat, or the food can be high in combination of two or more of them. Now that we have understood that regular consumption of HFSS foods along with sedentary lifestyle is a gateway to non-communicable diseases including obesity, diabetes, hypertension, cardiovascular diseases and certain types of cancers, let us look at the solution. Understanding the rule of 4 R's to limit and avoid HFSS foods is an effective approach. 4 R's here means to regulate, replace, restrict and rely. Let us quickly go through these. Regulate the consumption of fat, oil, sugar and salt. Monitor the use or amount of oil, fat, sugar and salt purchased every month. If one packet of oil or sugar or salt lasts for 6 weeks, try using it over 8 weeks. Use spoon to add oil, sugar and salt to food rather than freely pouring from the packet. Replace. Replace high fat, sugar and salt foods with fresh foods, whole grain cereals, legumes, etc. Replace saturated and trans fats with vegetable or blended vegetable oils high in mono and polyunsaturated fats and omega-3 and omega-6 rich oils like mustard, groundnut, sesame, rice bran, sunflower, etc. and use the oils in rotation. Replace salt with fresh or dried herbs, ginger, garlic, citrus ingredients like lemon juice zest or powder, tamarind, etc. Replace sugar with fresh fruits, naturally sugary foods like beetroot. Restrict HFSS through limiting sugar by avoiding foods such as sweets like jalebi, imarti, gulab jamun, balushahi, etc. Biscuits, cakes as they contain high amount of fat, trans fats and sugar and are prepared with refined cereals. Limiting the consumption of foods and drinks containing high amounts of sugar, example cold drinks, etc. Limiting salt or sodium by avoiding the consumption of baked foods like biscuits, fan, rusk, patty, pizzas, fried foods like chips, fries, samosa, etc. that contain high amounts of salt. Limiting the consumption of processed foods like ketchups, sauces, cheese, instant soups and noodles. Limit food accompaniments high in salt like chutney, pickles, papad, dips, salted butter and sauces. Limiting saturated and trans fats by avoiding vanaspati in cooking and frying, limiting consumption of foods high in saturated or trans fats like baked or processed foods, limit consumption of red meats, full cream milk and butter, etc. Avoid repeated reheating of oil and reusing oil for frying. Gradually reducing the use of oil, fat, sugar, salt in your daily cooking. Rely on small frequent meals, fresh fruits, vegetables and juices instead of preserved or processed ones. Low fat, low sugar, low salt versions of packaged foods. Food labels to look for hidden sources of trans fats, partially hydrogenated fat, margarine shortening, sugar or sucrose, dextrose, molasses, high fructose, corn syrup, etc. And salt like soya sauce, monosodium glutamate or MSG, sodium citrate. To sum it up, limiting the consumption of HFSS foods and following a healthy, balanced dietary pattern can be a savior for us and for the generations to come.